camera.
Yeah.
Keep on the camera.
If you can open your camera, please keep on the cameras on because we really want to see your face here together.
Okay.
That's right.
Hello. I want to say hello to my best sister.
Sure.
Indoria. Hello. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
This is the second chance that I meet you actually in virtual. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we all are doing fine.
Wow. So actually, I heard information that Miss Gendoria is a writer in Erlangga. Yes, that's right.
Yeah, I write
Oh,
books.
Wow.
Wow.
wow. English textbook, Miss Galeria?
Yeah, for examination preparation, express. Can I mention the title? Or
Sure.
it will be an advertisement. Yeah, express of English for the 12th graders.
I see. It's such a help for them, yeah,
Yeah.
to learn English expressly.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
means if you want to discuss about how to be great writers about, like the subject, maybe you can ask directly to Genderia later after this.
Yeah, we would
Yeah, with
love to,
pleasure.
Miss Rebecca.
Yeah. And also here, Miss Genderia, there is one, amazing man from East Zone, Mr. Samsir Makassar. Wow. Hello, Mr.
How do you
Samsir.
do?
Wow. He's really active here to join every week, Saturday and Sundays always. I see his page actually. Hello, Mr. Samsir. Do you want to say something? No, I'm mute. Mr. Samsir, I'm mute first.
Okay, yeah. I do not go back to my hometown every weekend because of this program.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
Yeah. My hometown is about 70 kilometers
Thank
from
you
the
so
city
You
of
much.
Makassar.
actually,
We
Mr.
appreciate it
Samsir,
a lot.
you have a good words to pursue me actually. Wow, very good.
Thank you so much. I'm really
Yeah.
glad to hear that.
I still remember one question from you. You say if you want to master English, so we have to should marry the native speaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but that is my
Wow.
question, whether it is right or not.
Just advice, yes. If you want to master, if you want to speak fluently, you have to marry a native speaker. Yes.
Because you
Nice.
need to meet a native speaker every time.
Nice.
Not every day, but every second, if possible.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then today, Andy ever lived 6 years actually in Indonesia, Jakarta. So really, language coach is really interesting to deliver some topic today. And don't forget tomorrow, the last with Professor Christopher Curtin. Wow, he's really amazing.
It's really great. Yeah, couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
And as the final speaker, I think you choose the right person, Mr. Beko.
Okay. Back to Nana and Kanaya. You can chat and other participants.
Okay. Mr. Dia and Miss
All right,
Dia
while
is
waiting.
saying hi for us. Hello, Miss Dia.
Oh yeah, hello. And from Miss Agustiani too.
Hi, hello.
Can you all hear my voice? Yeah, hi. Yeah, hi. And where are you now, Miss Agustiani? If we may know.
In Jakarta, because I'm a teacher at SMK Telkom Jakarta.
Yeah.
We are at the same group.
Oh, in the SMK Telkom, yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's great. That's nice. Okay, thank you. And for all participants, you can also say hi to the chat.
Excuse me, Mr. Nana. Do you want to speak well about your microphone? Sometimes there is, I don't understand it, but this is something wrong with your sounds.
Oh, really?
Yes,
I think
Wait,
it's
I'm
because
using-
it's not
the
really
connection.
clear.
I think it's because the
Yeah,
low
I think
What's problem?
the connection.
maybe because of the connection.
Connection? I think not, but maybe
Yeah.
your cable, maybe your, I don't know. You have to just try
What
But
about
this.
now?
sometimes if the sound like that coming from the van, is there any van around you?
Indeed.
Yeah, no wonder.
Wow.
No
Thank
wonder.
you. Thank you. Thank
Okay,
you.
then.
Thank you.
I just knew by
I'll
now.
turn it off.
Yeah, if you use fan and then the sound will be like that.
Thank you so much for the information.
All right.
Okay.
Yes.
Hello. I want to give first my
Thank you. I'll turn
sister,
it off.
teacher Andy. Hi, hello, teacher Andy. Are you here?
Hello,
Teacher Andy?
Teacher Andy.
Oh, not yet, because just now she messaged me, actually text me. Okay. And then I want to go to actually, oh, Andy, Mr. Andy is coming.
Miss Andy.
Miss Andy.
Hello.
Teacher Andy. Or Coach Andy.
Hello, Coach
Hi.
Andy.
Teacher Andy or Coach Andy.
Hello,
Hi,
Teacher Andy.
everybody. Good morning.
Hello.
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 Hi, good morning.
Hello, good morning. How are you? Well, for me, it's good morning. I don't know if for you it's good afternoon yet.
Afternoon. Yeah. it's
Afternoon in
afternoon.
Jakarta, Indonesia.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So then I did my homework, right? And I am supposed to say selamat sore.
Selamat siang.
Selamat siang.
Selamat siang
Still
would
noon,
be
still
better.
noon here.
Selamat siang sore, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Alright, thank
that's okay.
you.
Good.
That's good.
Sister and sorry, my sister Andy. Today we just still waiting for all the participants here because
of
you know exactly 12:40. So your time later, okay? We can make
Okay.
it chat first. Later,
Okay.
it's okay. It's okay.
Do you want
So
me to go? Do you want me to leave? Do you want me to come
No,
back
no,
in
no,
2
no,
minutes?
no. Stay here. Stay here. Just
Okay.
No, of course.
so. Do you want to say something, guys, to Andy? She is my favorite, actually. She is amazing.
So, Mr.
Oh,
Beko,
right.
you,
I
Mr.
want to
Beko,
ask
you mean before
something.
start we do chit chat with Miss Andy?
What?
Before we start the study, we do chit chat with Miss Andy
Yeah, you can.
while waiting for
Yes,
the
of course.
other
Yes, of
participants.
course. It's
Yeah,
free.
that's
Please,
great.
you can.
Well, what should I call Miss Andy or Andy only?
As you wish. I mean, I am not big on formalities, so if you like, you can just call me Andy.
Hi, Andy.
Actually,
Hello.
Andy, do you know the name of Andy is really popular in Makassar? It's really not like I don't know. This is the name of the kingdom. Yes,
The
like
royal
Sweden.
blood. Andy
Yeah,
for royal
Andy.
blood.
Andy.
Oh,
Yes,
I
yeah.
It's a
didn't know
noble
that.
name, right?
Yes, you can ask to Mr. Samsir. Yes, that's right, Mr. Samsir. Andy.
Is a noble name.
Andy. Yes.
Oh, Andy means royal blood.
Yeah.
Royal
But-
blood.
But no Andy Lau. Yes.
No, but Andy, if in UK, it is something like Lady Diana, something like that.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, Andy Lushashi, how do you
Okay.
pronounce your name, your
Yes.
last name?
Is Lucchese because I am half,
Lucchese.
yes, I am half Italian. So that's
Oh.
where that's where my last name comes from. It's
Oh, I
Italian.
see.
Yes.
Lucchese. Lucchese.
I love your name. It's so pretty.
Lucchese.
Thank you. Thank you. Well,
Ma-
It sounds so melodious.
excuse me?
My
Sounds
sister.
melodious.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I didn't catch that.
Hello, my sister. Actually, would you mind to tell us how many language that you can speak?
Oh, well, my dominant language is English, but I function in a similar way. I would say that it's very dominant in my life right now, Spanish and then Italian. In all those languages, I am also a certified teacher.
Wow,
Great.
very good.
If you like, I can introduce myself a little bit so you guys know who I am professionally and why I am here with you today. Would you like that?
Yes, just hold on
Yes,
first.
please.
Hold on first. Hold on first. Hold on first.
Okay, whatever
Oh,
Mr.
okay.
Baco,
Hold on
whatever
first.
Mr. Baco says, that's why I didn't want to do anything because I was like, whatever Mr. Baco says, I will do.
No, my sister. Actually, I'm the host here today, but you have a time to tell your identity letters by host Nana and host Kanaya letter.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Okay, please, and others, do you want to chit chat to Andy Lukashi? Yes, that's right.
Yes, yes.
So look, Andy Lukashi. Have you lived in Indonesia?
Yes, actually, I lived my first part of my childhood there. I moved there when I was 3, and we left with a very broken heart when I was 8 years and a half. As a matter of fact, my sister Natalie, she was born in Jakarta.
Wow.
Yes,
That's nice.
I have brought some pictures for you guys so I can show you.
Wow. Okay, it's okay. So how many Indonesian words that you still remember that?
Mr. Baco, that is not fair. The only 2 words that I remember is makan and tidur. But I think
Yeah.
but I think that it's because it was mainly what the conversation I had with my mom and my nanny. So remember, I was 3 till I was 8 years and a half. So probably that's why I remember.
I think Andy, it's normal because sleep is anyone needs sleep and anyone needs to eat. Yes, sleep and eat. Wow, very good, nice.
So it was
Words.
smart, huh, to remember those. Okay, good.
You don't have a plan to come here again?
I wish I could go back, actually. The thing is that I have never been offered anything to go back to Jakarta. I mean, if I ever go back to Jakarta, it would be just for fun, just because I will be revisiting the country, but unfortunately not because of, for professional reasons, which is something that I would be greatly interested in. But of course, those are projects that can come in the foreseeable future.
Oh, very good. So that's mean if you really want to come here, don't forget to come to my home, to come to meet me, Mr. Baco, actually, because today you have a lot of friends here from Jakarta and other provinces in Indonesia.
Oh, thank you. I am so, when Mr. Baco approached me long ago, I was so excited because for me, it's really like coming home. Because it brings really a lot of memories. I mean, the person that I love the most, apart from my mom, her name is Tulika. She is my nanny. She's from there. So I mean, how I cannot be emotionally attached to that country. So.
Wow, very good. That's mean I called you my sister because you want to back again to your country. I want to come to Indonesia. Yes.
Yes, I would love to come back.
Wow, very good. Okay, thank you, Nana and Kanaya.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
Mr.
about
Baco?
and others? And others, do you want to say something against because we have a 1 minute more?
I think that's okay. I want to check my voice though. Can you hear my voice clearly?
Actually, yeah.
Still can be heard.
Still can be heard, right?
Actually, it isn't very good right now. I don't know why.
Okay.
Anyway, Teacher Andy, may I ask you something?
Of course, please go ahead.
I'm kind of curious. Do you remember your favorite Indonesian food when you were a kid?
Unfortunately, I can't. Maybe. Well, if I think back, I think that it was frog legs. I remember
Ah.
eating. I remember eating those a lot. So if I remember that, probably it was my favorite thing to eat. So there you have it.
Okay, thank you. I actually I thought you will answer that I like nasi goreng because nasi goreng is so general, right?
Nasi goreng was like the noodles soup.
No, it's
No,
like rice.
it's rice.
Oh,
Fried rice.
it means bakso, yes.
It's just that I remember when I was in my house. One of the things that I remember the most is that I remember eating lots of noodle soup. It was like noodle soup, and it was like with this guy that he came, you know, tick 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 tick, and I remember listening.
Bakso,
Yes,
yes.
yes.
No, that one
Okay.
me tek tek.
Yes.
No.
Tek. Yeah, because we tek 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 tek. Something
And
like that.
Exactly. And I remember, you know, like I remember listening to that guy from like a mile away. I was like, oh yes, daddy, it's time to go and have some lunch or something. So I remember that, but I don't remember the food though.
Okay, thank you so
Wow, very good. Amazing. Yes, interesting today with Coach Andy.
Yeah. In the end, you know, coach, trainer, all those things are just synonyms for teacher. It's internet stuff. So teacher.
Yeah, the last one, this is the last one. And also there is Miss Genderia. She is, you know, one of them writer in Erlangga, yes, publishers. And then maybe Miss Genderia, do you want to say something to Coach Andy?
Nice to meet you, Andy.
Wow,
Nice to
nice.
meet you, Genderia.
Actually, I hope you can speak French so I can practice my French with you, but
No, I'm sorry. It's been a long, you know, wish of mine to learn the language a little bit better, but no, I don't speak French, unfortunately.
but people say Italian minus Spanish equals French.
Well, let's not say that to a French person because then,
Yeah,
yes,
because
I
it's
know.
like what
Okay,
is it?
It's the
okay, Miss
same.
Genderia, I'm so sorry. This is the really the last ones. Where do you live in Spain?
Oh, well, I am based in Spain, in the south of Spain, in the provincia, that's how they call it, Provincia de Alicante, in the province of Alicante. It's in the south, and I moved to Spain in 2015. So I've been living here for about 6 years now.
Wow. Great.
Yes.
Okay, I think enough for teacher today. We have to back to Coach host Nana and Kanaya. Okay, are you ready, Kanaya and Nana?
Ready.
Yes,
Okay.
ready.
Okay, time is yours.
Thank you. Okay, Miss Nana, time is yours.
Thank you. All right, thank you, Kanaya. Let's just say hi to all of the participants. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam
Good
warahmatullahi
afternoon to
wabarakatuh.
you all. And also especially for teacher Andy. Good morning to you there. Yeah. And how's your day going so far, guys?
Well, I'm
How are
great.
you all?
And everybody, I hope everybody also are great today.
Yeah, I believe so. And I hope everything runs well wherever you're at right now. And also, you're all in a good and healthy condition. And of course, happy. That's the most. And let's open our meeting today with our slogan, one teacher, one book, and one change the world. Okay, so first of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Nana, and I'm from Indonesia, and I'd like to welcome you all. Welcome back to International English Training Class Batch 2 by VLC-Indonesia in collaboration on our 7th day of meeting. Wow, amazing. And it has been our 7th day. Yeah. And we really appreciate you all here for attending this meeting. And let's just learn English together, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So participants, this is a really, really good opportunity to all of us here to learn as much as we can about English, to absorb the knowledge about English, of course, guided by teacher Andy, yeah, for 1 hour and 30 minutes. And today, of course, I'm not alone because I'm here with my lovely Kanaya from the Telkom Bandung Vocational High School, Indonesia.
Hi, Miss Nana. Thank you so much. It's so
Hi.
nice to meet you again here. I hope you're doing great and healthy right now and for more days to go on. And also, I want to say hi to everyone here. Hello, guys. Welcome to the 7th day of International English Training Class Batch 2 by VLC-Indonesia in collaboration. I can believe that today is already our 7th day of journey of ITZ with VLC-Indonesia. Anyway, everyone, how is your life going? I hope you're doing well, always surrounded by good things, also in a fit state and healthy condition. We are so much appreciating you for attending today's meeting to keep learning English together. I guess I shall introduce myself too. I'm Kanaya from Telkom Vocational High School, Bandung, Indonesia. Probably some of you are kind of already familiar with me because I was being here too actually as one of the ITC Batch 2 hosts on the very first day, if you guys remember. I'm feeling so thankful for being here again and for the amazing opportunities, of course, to be trusted as a part of International English Training Class Batch 2 by VLC Indonesia. Me and Miss Nana are going to be with you within this learning session. And everyone, this is a good opportunity for us to learn English knowledge. Me and Miss Nana, are the participants come from various countries as usual?
Yes, of course, they come from all over the world. I can see most of us are from Indonesia, but I can also see that some of them are from abroad, right? Hi to them too.
Of course.
Okay, hi, participants from abroad.
Hello, everyone.
Can you say hi to us? Hi. I think
you can
I've
open your
seen
microphone to
someone
say
from
hi.
Uganda. Yeah.
Okay.
Miss or Mr. Hanrobi from Uganda.
Yeah,
that's so amazing. I'm pleased that
think
finally we are gathering here virtually. And anyway, everyone, here there are 3 sessions that we will be doing on today's event. The first is opening remarks, and the second is presentation from speaker, and the last one is the Q&A session. So what should we do next, Miss Nana?
Thank you for asking, Kanaya. But before we do all of that session, I will read the rules for our meeting today. So the first rule is, please, participants, do mute your microphone except the host let you speak. Please mute your microphone first. And then the second one is, since we'd like to see your happy faces throughout the meeting, I would like you all to keep your camera on. So please keep the camera on. And the last one, not the last, actually, the third one, please rename your account here by typing your nickname and then underscore city, underscore Indonesia if you come from Indonesia. And for those who come from abroad country, you can set it to nickname and then underscore your country. For example, Kanaya from Jakarta _ Indonesia. Or if there is Joss from America, that would be Joss _ America. Just like that. It's very simple.
Yeah, that's right. And number 4 is that you can ask question in the chat room, or you can click the raise hand feature first, and you may ask directly your question in the Q&A session. And last but not least, there's attendance list on the last 10 minutes before we finish this program. Also, for all participants, don't forget to take and save a screenshot of you for joining this meeting today. That later you will upload it into attendance form.
Indeed. And we also recommend you all to use our background that we have been prepared for all of you. You can get it from the WhatsApp group. Okay. And before we go to our main session, let's just invite Ms. Huta Suhud Genderia from Vocational English Teachers Association, or MGMP, of Kota Bandung to give the opening remarks. Welcome, Ms. Genderia. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah. All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Time is yours, Ms. Genderia.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Bako from VLC and everyone, and hola to teacher Andy from Spain. I feel honored to be here delivering my opening speech, since it is a very good event, and I remember the days when I was much younger. I had to travel somewhere to practice my English or a foreigner. I think some of us had those days, right? But now, thanks to pandemic, uh, the world has no boundary, and we can talk to anyone from anywhere around the world. And I, as a representative of the Vocational English Teachers Association of Bandung, truly support this kind of event, and I truly hope that all of you can get a lot of benefit learning English.
All right. Thank you so much for Ms. Huta Suhud Genderia. And if you'd like, you can stay and join the whole event. Well, participants, I think there's no need to hold on anymore. So let's just jump into our main session. Shall we? Kanaya?
Yes, that's totally right, Miss Nana. You know what? I can't really wait for getting knowledge and something new right now. But before that, I will read first about our today's speaker's biography. Her name is Andy Lucchesi. I hope I pronounced her name correctly. She is from Spain, as we know. Hola, is that right? The way we say hi in Spain, hola. She is a journalist, digital creator, and language coach. She is so kind, gorgeous, fun, and humble. You all should check and follow her on Instagram.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, thank you, Kanaya. And dear participants, as we know that most of us have learned English, right, for many years ever since our elementary level, or we even learn it by ourselves, right? And we have been learning it, right? About the grammar, the reading skill, listening, and speaking skill. But today, we will, of course, get more and more knowledge about English and some solutions to improve our English ability. To make sure, we will learn about silent letters in English words with our speaker, Teacher Andy. Hello, Teacher Andy or Coach Andy. Which one do you prefer?
Whatever it is that you guys want to call me, because teacher, coach, trainer, the idea here is to impart, knowledge. So whatever title, it's good for me. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon over there. Good morning. If you are in a part of the world that it's still morning. My name is Andy, and I have been a teacher for about 12 years, over a decade. Don't do the math, please. Don't do the math. So the thing is that I have been a teacher, and it has been one of my life pleasures to get to know people and to not just get to know people, but to teach them. I think that as a teacher, we learn twice, not just the language, but the things that you can definitely do better in order to impart knowledge. Today, as I have been presented by Mr. Bako, Nana, Kanaya, I am going to talk about silent letters. Here in the chat, I'm going to leave you my Instagram account and also my email address in case that any of you want ever to write. My email address is open as well as my Instagram account. I think that it was 2 or 3 months ago, I did a collection of pronunciation videos in my account. For me, this was really interesting to create because when we are second language learners, it is incredibly important to understand why there is this existence of silent letters, why silent letters exist. Are they vital? If typical question that I get from my students, if the letter is there and I don't have to pronounce it, why do I even have to spell it? Why do I even have to write it? Why it hasn't evolved and just like, you know, take it off, right? So today I'm going to give you some basic knowledge about silent letters, and I hope that it enrich a little bit the knowledge that you guys already have. Mr. Bako, am I able to share a presentation that I have for you?
Great, Miss Andy. Anyway, I want to ask some question to you first. Can I?
Oh,
how do you
yes,
feel being a speaker in this great English training class? How do you feel right now?
Oh, I feel really honored, especially because, as I was saying before, all of you have, you know, arrived at the beginning. I was explaining that I lived in Indonesia when I was a child. I think that it was when I was 3, yes, till I was 8 years and a half. So for me, it's really a nice experience to be talking, you know, for people in that part of the world.
Thank you so much. I also feel so happy as you are right now.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about the pandemic situation in Spain right now? Is the lockdown still going on there?
I have to say that we're pretty lucky when it comes to that topic in a way, because we're not in lockdown anymore. Only small communities, you know, during summertime, they went back to lockdown. And in that case, it was just for a very short period of time. But at least in the town where I live in, because I live in the province of Alicante, but I live in a town nearby because I, you know, when I moved to this area, I learned that living in small towns is more enjoyable. It's better than living in the big city. So for me, it was better to live over this, you know, area. But anyways, the thing is that here we are very lucky because we don't have any sort of lockdown. The only thing is that we might have restrictions to go out at night. I mean, here people are very open to go and party. So if you want to go out for a drink, or if you want to go out, for instance, I don't know, to have dinner with your family, normally restaurants, they start closing at midnight, when in the past they used to close around 2.
I see. Well, I'm hoping for all of us to be safe and this coronavirus crisis end soon, so that we can turn to our normal lives and we can go out to see the nature and beautiful world again around us. Okay,
Yes.
Coach Andy, are you ready now for the presentation and practicing your topic with all the participants here?
Yes, of course. I was born ready.
Great. I can really wait more. Time is yours, Coach Andy.
Thank you. All right. So let me see if I can share. Okay. Mr. Baku, can I share my screen or am I going to use yours?
Okay, you can.
Thank you very much. Okay, I think it's going to be easier that way. It's just that it's been a while that I hadn't used, let's see, PowerPoint. So for me, when Mr. Baku asked me to do a PowerPoint, I was like, that's going to be a challenge, because right now I have been using Canva for presentations and such. Okay, can you see the whole presentation well? Yes?
Yes,
Good.
we can see
Clearly.
it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Crystal
everybody.
clear.
So this, if you like, since this is a pronunciation class, most of it, or master class, in just a couple of minutes, I'm going to ask you to open your mics, because we're here to practice and to participate. So today, those that are shy, put a little bit of energy in your coffee, because you need to practice today. So today we're going to talk about silent letters in English words and basic concepts. As I was saying before, I started my presentation, to get to understand, especially when we are a second language learner, and when we're just not a child, not a teenager, when we are adults, and to rationalize the language that we are learning, for most of us helps, especially because we adults sometimes tend to be a little bit stubborn when it comes to our learning language processes. And the problem is that sometimes if we don't understand, for us, it's going to be twice as hard to accept that knowledge. Therefore, in this case, when we're talking about vocabulary, it's going to be twice or 3 times harder to understand why that word looks or sounds in that way. So, what are silent letters? The idea here is to understand what is a silent letter. And since I like to make things that in appearance look complicated, I like to make them simple. I broke it down in these very 3 concepts here, okay, or explanations, if you may. A silent letter is a letter that is left unpronounced in a word. It's as simple as that, such as in the word plumber, or doubt. You simply don't make the sound of that letter. You just simply don't mention it. But it is not as simple as that, right? Probably you guys are saying, yeah, sure, for you it's easy because you have been saying those words for a while, or you are already familiarized with that word. But it happens to even native speakers that we struggle a lot with silent letters as well in the English language, because especially when we are a child, because the process of gaining a language when we if we are a native or if we are a second language learner, obviously it's a little bit different. But if we're acquiring this language since childhood, believe me that for native speakers is also very complicated sometimes to understand the function of silent letters, right? So the thing is that about 60% of all English words have a silent letter. So that's why I believe it's essential. It's extremely essential for second language learners and obviously native speakers in order to learn their language well, to understand what is their function and what are they for. So that's the main reason why pronunciation is so tricky. I don't know if you guys are familiar with what a spelling bee is. Yes. Are you familiar with spelling bee competition?
Of course. Yeah.
So,
We do that a lot.
Yeah,
Good.
and spelling bee competitions are really important, not just because they incentivize, love for words and language. everybody loves a good, healthy competition, right? Especially if there is a trophy and a prize. But the thing is that spelling bees really, the thing that it's behind it, it's to teach the language in a much more successful way, apart from many other things, but mainly because of silent letters, okay? So I got some news for you. The thing is that except for letters J, Q, and Y, the rest of the letters are silent or partially silent. So even if you like it or not, or pronunciation or learning new vocabulary is not your cup of tea, I think that we should get on the horse of, loving the fact that we have silent letters and accept it. If you don't want to love the idea, well, at least accept it, because the sooner you do, you're going to start having, it's going to happen faster. The fact that you can pronounce words better, and when you speak is going to be much more successful, because in the end, one of the parts of having a good understanding of silent letters is to have a successful communication. If I cannot say a word at least 80–85% correctly in order for the other person to understand an approximation of that word, communication is going to fail, especially when it comes to the English language, because the English language recycle a lot of their words, and whatever it is that it can be a verb, it can be transformed maybe later into a noun, or it can be an adjective or an adverb, okay? So it is important to understand the function of these words. Sorry, of these letters. So, but there's a trick. There's always a trick that we can always learn. When we're learning new vocabulary, especially, or any vocabulary for that matter, and this happens quite often, we have to have in mind the fact that we have silent letters, right? Silent letters comes with sounds. But the thing is that the English language especially comes from an ear, mouth, eyes function. What does it mean? It means that we should focus always on the whole sound of the word. Whenever somebody tells you or say to you a new word, you should focus on the whole pronunciation of the word, and then focus on, when that's why I mentioned the word eyes, and then focus on the spelling. The English language is a language that in itself, it's more or less of a Frankenstein in a way. Because as you guys already know, we have acquired through time and history, we have acquired many words from different languages. Just 60% of most of our vocabulary has Latin roots. So go figure what is that we have adopted from other languages as well. So my recommendation, whenever it is that we're going to adopt this system of learning with silent letters about ear, mouth, and eyes, that's what it is. I am talking to you, and this is the natural way that people learn anything. If we compare the process since childhood, we talk to our children, especially when we are talking about languages that are far more complicated than the English language. Let's say when we're talking about Russian, when we're talking about Mandarin, any Japanese, when we're talking about languages that they're not the regular alphabet as we know it for some Western languages. So the thing is that we have to break down the code of image in this case, which comes from an image such as a symbol when it comes to Mandarin, right? But in this case, I believe that for Indonesian or in some parts of Asia, we already are familiar with this kind of alphabet. So one thing is done, meaning that we don't have to break or we don't have to understand the symbology of that word, right? So that's where the game of ear, mouth, eyes comes easier, okay? Because if we would have to break down image, well, it is twice as hard. I'd say this from experience because when I was trying to learn Mandarin, I start learning it through the Pinyin system, which is more familiarized for me as coming from a Western culture and from a Western type alphabet, right? So the Pinyin system was easier in a way because it broke the code of symbology, but then I had to learn the symbol as well. So in this case, I think that we are lucky, right? This said, it is important to mention this, phonemic awareness. Phonemic awareness is something that, especially for the teachers here in the room, I want us to explain our students this for just a couple of seconds when we get to talk about silent letters. Why? Because it's not about convincing our students, but it's about selling them the idea that in order to be more successful in their learning process, they have to know why it is important to have or to mention phonemic awareness. It requires readers to notice how letters represent sounds. When we're talking about the English language especially, and when we are going to embark ourselves into silent letters, we normally, when we say a word, what I said in the previous slide, is that we pronounce the word, right? Like the word plumber, or the word psychedelic. If your tongue it's not trained to roll in a specific way, if it's the first time that a student is presented that word and they are not aware of what that group of words, okay, of broken, not words, sorry, that group of syllables represent, it's going to be extremely hard for them to read. That's why when they read, their reading skills they go slower when it comes to reading. So phonemic awareness is the understanding that spoken language words can be broken into individual phonemes. This is a little bit technical, so I wanted to say here the smallest unit of a spoken language. Finally, the understanding of individual sounds is a strong predictor of reading and spelling success. I always try to tell them that the moment they learn how an individual phoneme sounds, the mind, linguistically speaking, will remember it easier. That's why when a person tries to say a word, for instance, me as a trained teacher, I already know what is it that the person is going to say, even though it might not be pronounced entirely correctly, okay? So here are some examples that I've borrowed from the internet and I worked out for you. So silent letter words examples. Oh, sorry, misspelled, sorry. Okay, there is a D there. I did this around like 2 a.m. in the morning, so there is supposed to be a D. I will correct this once I send it back to Mr. Baku. Thank you. Well, we have to accept mistakes. Anyways, guys, let's start with the letter. I collect them alphabetically. And as I mentioned before, not all the letters of the alphabet are completely silent, okay? One of those words, one of those letters that are not completely silent is the letter A, okay? The letter A in the English language is not entirely silent. So difference from these other letters over here. So in this moment is when I would like to invite you to open your microphones and join with me the conversation. Yes.
Yes, we're ready.
Yes, you can open your mics. Very good. Perfect. Okay, so what is it that we're going to do here? Obviously, for the teachers out there, you guys already know this, but for the students, let's practice, okay? Why does the letter A in this specific case is silent? Because as you can see, okay, we are not going to mention it. We're going to break the word in a way that it's going to make the letter A disappear. So if I would like to pronounce this word over here, it would sound like artistically, artistically. If you like, you can go ahead and pronounce it.
Artistically.
Artistically.
Good job.
Artistically.
The thing here is not to say artistically, okay, which it can happen if we are reading the whole word, because that's when I say connect ear, ear, mouth, eyes, because the last thing that we should do is to connect eyes when we are learning the word for the first time. So advice for teachers: if you're teaching your students for the first time silent letters, or you're teaching them pronunciation, forget about giving them any sort of visuals. Try to give them first the words. Try to let them get familiarized with the sounds first, so they know, they pronounce it, you work out the pronunciation, and then you go ahead and say, hey, do you remember the first word that we mentioned? This was the word. If you were students of mine in a classroom, that's the first thing that we would have done. We would have started with a total blank board and just sounds, because that's what languages are supposed to be taught naturally, by ear, mouth, and then eyes. So here's how it goes: artistically, artistically. So this one would be logic, logically, logically,
Logically.
Logically.
music,
Logic.
musically.
Musically. Musically.
Nice. Now, this one comes with an extra challenge because we have the PH, which I'll explain in a moment. So, physically, physically.
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 Nice. And then this one over here, critic, critically.
Critic.
Critically.
Very good. By the way, it is important to mention that there are so many accents out there. So in this moment, I am doing it with my accent, but being aware of the fact that in this word specifically, the letter A is silent. So if I were British, for example, or if I were from Canada, or if I were from South Africa, from Nigeria, my pronunciation might be slightly different, but I would do it correctly, because I would not say artistically, I would say artistically, okay? That's what it's important, because a lot of my students ask me, oh, but then does it change by accent if I pronounce the word in one way or another? It might affect, the accent might affect in one way or another the pronunciation of these words, but the most important thing to understand here is that you're not wrong, regardless of the accent. What is important here is not to pronounce the silent letter per se, okay? So, shall we go to letter B?
Of course.
Okay, so as you can see, guys, long list, right? So I'm just gonna pick a couple, all right? So this one over here, that it's atypical in the classroom that everybody gets wrong at first. Climb, climb. A good trick to pronounce very well, or to understand the difference between the letter M and N, it's when we say the letter M, we have to just close, or our lips have to go slightly together like this, climb. Yes, it's like when we say delicious, right? That like That should be the way we close our mouth, right? And why this is important? Because the English language, especially, it makes a very big difference when it comes to the letter M and the letter N. N, as you can see, when I say the letter N, my tongue touches my palate. So, okay? So, no, never. Do you see?
Never. No.
So a good way to help yourself, especially when the word has the letter M, it's to, okay? So climb.
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 All right. Now, of course, when we're talking about,
Climb.
thank you. Okay, so of course, when we're talking about certain words, do you remember what I told you that we can break it and then understand some sounds that comes with those words? Now, we have here the word, forget about the letter B for a second. We have the word kara, kara. That is the first sound that comes here, kara. So, and then I have to put the letter M. So, and then of course, since the letter B is silent, it's only just there for show, okay? We just have to forget about that. So I want you to focus on the sound. Kra, crumb.
Crumb.
Crumb. Yes, beautiful. You see? So all the theory that I was talking a few minutes before about recognizing the sounds, especially for these words here, we have to know how they start. And then if it has the silent letter, obviously, let's see how the combination works. Because in this case, I am lucky. It's just at the end of the word. I just don't have to pronounce it, right? But what happens when it is in the middle, like in this word over here? Yes. Some of my students that are Spanish speakers, they would say something like debd. Yes, they would say something like that, right? Now, remember our principle. The letter B is silent. So if it's silent, it would sound something like this. That. Exactly. Now let's try it with the following, with the next word. Doubt. Doubt. And you're like, but here we've got an OU, right? Let's not get that technical, okay? That's why, because the thing is that in the classroom, if we were explaining silent letters to our students, especially if they're younger students, well, I guess that everybody, when people get too technical, we start yawning. We start like, okay, this is starting to get boring, right? So we just have to say, follow the sound and mimic. Follow the sound and mimic, okay? So doubt. Yes?
Doubt.
This is another word over here that for some people is really hard to say. This one over here. Sorry, here. Subtle.
Subtle.
Subtle. It's not subtle, it's subtle. Okay?
Subtle.
Exactly. Yeah. So what is it that we're doing? We are proving that we really cannot trust our eyes when it comes to the English language. We have to trust our ears and our mouth. And then for spelling, because then that's gonna, it's the next thing that we're gonna do, you know, read and write. So for spelling reasons, we just then we'll connect the sound with what it looks like. So when I read, especially when I read out loud, which is one of the best exercise that is going to help you with your pronunciation, we know how it connects sound and the shape or the how the word looks like. Okay, so let's move on to letter C. So how about if we use this one over here? Ascend.
Ascend.
Asam.
No,
Ascend.
ascend.
No, ascend.
Ascend.
Ascend. Okay. Now, how about over here, right? How about if we say this word over here? I like it. Yes. Conscience. Conscience.
Conscience.
Conscience.
Conscience.
Exactly. Conscience.
Conscience.
Yes. If I pronounce it, you know, in my fully
Conscience.
American, yes. If I pronounce it with my fully American accent, I would say conscience. Yes.
Conscience.
Conscience. There you have it. Let's make it faster then. Conscience, right?
Conscience.
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 Conscience, right? Beautiful. Now, this one, a difficult one. Disciple.
Disciple.
Disciple. Disciple.
Okay.
Disciple.
Then here we have the word fascinate. Yes.
Fascinate.
Not fay.
Fascinate.
It's not fay. It's fascinate.
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 Exactly.
Fascinate.
Exactly. Are you familiar with the word fascinating?
Yeah.
Yes.
There you have it.
Yeah.
Same pronunciation. Remember that when it comes about vocabulary, the English language has 4 pillars. Shall we remind them? Yes. We've got
Yeah.
verbs.
Yeah, sure.
We have verbs. Then what else do we have? Verbs.
Adverbs.
Adverbs. Very good. Nouns and
Noun.
Adjective.
and adjectives. Those are the 4 pillars that makes vocabulary, right? So depending on what I have to remember that if there is a silent word, silent letter, the word has to follow the same rule, okay? As in this case, I have the word fascinate. Oh, then I have the word fascinating, okay? Okay, silent D, let's move on. So here, the word handsome, handsome, handsome.
Handsome.
Mhm.
Handsome.
Handsome.
Thank
This
you.
word over here, the word Wednesday. Wednesday.
Wednesday. Wednesday.
And I want to pronounce this word over here. This word over here, it is a little bit of a dilemma, okay? Here is when it comes,
Yeah.
teacher, what pronunciation is correct? This one or that one? Well, I was taught to say the word without the D, sandwich. Sandwich.
Sandwich.
But
Sandwich.
depending on, where you're from, you can say sandwich, okay? I want a
Sandwich.
sandwich, turkey sandwich, yes? I would say I want a turkey sandwich, yes?
Sandwich.
Now, what is important? Does it sound similar? Sandwich and sandwich?
No.
Different.
It's a
Different.
little different, but I still know that you want to have a
A
sandwich,
Yeah.
okay? That's what is important. Now,
Okay.
let's move on. Silent E. Okay, silent E, it's interesting because depending on the word, it might, it might have like a slightly sound, but basically it is silent, okay? So the word age. Then I have the word change.
Change.
Very good. This one is another one that it's a little bit challenging. Clothes. Exactly, clothes. Now look at this word over here. Love. Okay, love.
Thank you.
Perfect. All right, guys. So
Thank you.
let's see. For some reason, okay, just give me a second.
Okay.
Just give me a second. Let's fix. Yeah, I know. I just cut the presentation for a second because it's not showing my image. Okay. We're experimenting slight technical problems. Just give me a second, guys. Okay, let's let me go back to. Okay, the image here. Let me fix it for a second, okay? The next letters were silent D, okay? Just give me a second so I can fix it. In the meantime that I fix this, have you guys have any questions about this? Do you have I explained it in a way that it's clear enough for you? The letters that we have worked on so far. Yes? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So just give me a second. So I fetched here. Okay. And because for some reason it disappeared. Okay. Silent K, silent E. Okay. Okay. So let me go back to presentation, okay? Okay, we're back. Yes?
Yeah.
Can you see my screen again?
Yes.
Okay, technical problems that I was experimenting, these two images disappeared.
Yes.
So sorry if here it's supposed to go the letter silent D, okay? So let's say, sorry, just give me a second. No, we already did it, okay. So this one, okay, silent E. The word H, we were saying it, clothes, breathe, change, we already said that, right? So in this case, letter G. Are we familiar with silent letter G? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Now, before we go and break down letter G, okay, that I'll take that in a second, okay, because I took the wrong picture. Silent G, silent GH. Now, probably most of you are struggling or have struggled in the past with the word, the combination GH, right?
Mhm.
Now, let's see how this goes. Thought.
Hot.
Okay, but what happened if it's at the end? Way. Mhm. And how about, yes, but how about this word over here? The word light. Now,
Light.
now, the biggest challenges of all, this one over here, the last one. Can somebody tell me, what do you think is this sound?
Tough.
Tough.
Thank you. Good job. So the thing is that the combination of the word GH, the letters GH, okay, if it's by the end, sometimes it can sound like F, okay? Yes? Tough.
Yeah.
Tough. In here is by the end too, but since it's got a consonant, it doesn't make the sound. So tough. Okay? All right. All right. So, okay. Let me go grab here, eliminate this, okay, and go with letter G. Okay, so we are correcting this live. Here it goes. Can you see it, guys?
Yep.
Good. All right, so you see, trying to be perfect doesn't work at all. I was, trying to make like a flawless presentation, but then Canva betrayed me. Okay, so letter G. This is the word that was before this one here. So this one, it's a challenge because in this case, we have the word, yes, we don't pronounce it. Normally the letter is ch or k, right? Or k. If I pronounce it individually, right? But then here, I just don't make the sound. Listen, align, yes? Or if I have the word, for example, cologne, you see?
Cologne.
Or this one.
What's that sound?
Careful with your microphones there, thank you. Okay, so, or this word over here, foreign.
Foreign.
The letter I, exactly, the letter I, foreign. Nuh-uh,
Foreign.
it's not foreign, it's foreign.
Foreign.
So,
Foreign.
okay, so let's move on to letter H, shall we? So letter H is fun because we're going to see it in lots of different combinations here. So in this case, it will help to make the k sound, yes? Like anchor, yes? Anchor. In this one, archaeology. Yes. Now, this one over here, echo. It's not a, it's echo. This is when, for those especially that have that are joining just now, remember that when we talk about a full word, we're not pronouncing how that letter, that independent letter goes. No, we're trying to go here, and let me go back very quickly to what I mentioned. We're trying to go to the smallest unit of the spoken language, which is individual phonemes, okay? So we're trying to break our vocabulary here, okay? All this vocabulary here, we're trying to break them into phonemes and then boom, the whole, okay? So we go ear, mouth, eyes, okay? So letter K, this one, easy, every time silent, that's it. That's the easiest one, okay? So we have words, some such as knife, or night, yes? But look at this one, knit. Okay, so you might be like, what? But a few seconds ago, this was night and this one is knit. How can that be possible? Well, this is the English language. Welcome. So in this case, that's why I will insist through the whole presentation, we have to remember the sound and then connect it with the spelling, okay? So as, for example, if this is knit, this would be knitting, okay? All right, the letter L, silent L, it's also a little bit of a challenge because especially when it comes to Spanish speakers, which has been my case, we tend to pronounce all the letters that we read, right? In this case, they would say almond, they would say balm. Okay, that is not bad. If it's a first try, I would more or less understand what is it that you're saying. So communication is not failing. Okay, but let's try to make it better. I would say almond. There you go. I would say balm. Yes, like lip balm. Yes. Or for words such as could or would, that we use them all the time, or the word should. The word could, would, should, we use those all the time, right? So there you have it.
the L totally silent. And then this one, for some of my Spanish students, it has been always a discovery when they find out that the word salmon doesn't, yeah, the L in salmon is totally silent. So it's salmon, yes? Salmon. All right, very good.
Salmon.
Yes, salmon. All right, now, very quickly. This one easy, just don't pronounce it. And do you remember the exercise we did before about the letter M versus the letter N? So here's where it comes handy. Autumn, 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 autumn. It's like when we're trying to say the word ottoman. Yes, the chair that, yes, ottoman. So it's more or less the same sound. Autumn. Autumn. Yes?
Autumn.
The word column. Yes?
Column.
Now, then here is another one that it's quite challenging. The letter S, right? Now, some of these words, when they were trying to get into the English language, the S, it was pronounced, but then it evolved and we didn't pronounce it anymore. Such as the word island, 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 yes? Or in this case, aisle, aisle. Good. Or in this case, viscount, viscount. Yes? Viscount. So, are we doing good so far?
Okay.
Yes. Are we doing good?
Yes.
Now, let's talk about pH. Yes? Can somebody tell me what is the sound that pH does?
Pedon.
Yes?
Piton.
Piton. Yes.
Piton.
Okay. Piton. Right? Okay.
Piton.
Okay. Now, how about, yeah, but it's not that. It's Phaeton. Okay. Okay. Yes. As I said, yeah, a lot of people are like with the P and I'm like, yeah, Phaeton, right? It should be the logic. No, silent. In this case, it's not totally silent. It has a different sound, okay? So in this case, it is the sound, yes? Now, a pharaoh, yes?
Pharaoh.
Now, harmonic. You can just Google the words. In case that you don't know what they are, you can Google the words later. I will share this presentation with Mr. Baco so you guys can save it later, okay?
Okay.
And how about this one over here? Telephone. The thing is that we are so used to say it that we forget that it has the pH, and that pH is the perfect example that the pH is th, okay? Alphabet, yes?
Alphabet.
This one, sophomore, right?
Sophomore.
Or sophomore.
Now, yes. So let's continue then. The letter T would be something quite similar, okay? But just don't pronounce it. Let's say apostle.
Also.
Apostle.
Castle. Christmas. Mhm.
Castle.
Hustle. Mhm. Then we have this word over here.
Mortgage.
Moisten.
Somebody close my microphone. Okay. So in this case, mortgage. Mortgage.
Mortgage. Mortgage.
This is another word that causes a little bit of a dilemma. A lot of people say often, and a lot of people say often. Both are correct, okay? It happens that in my case, I say often. But if you decide to say often, because that's the way that you've learned it, please do so, okay? It's not wrong. What is important here, whenever it is, because I heard that in the introduction, one of the teachers said that we have been learning English in academies, but mostly on our own, right? When we self-study, we have to be aware of what is correct but said differently and what is definitely a mistake. And this is essential whenever we are self-learners, because then we can avoid future bad habits, okay? All right, or even worse, judging others' speech because you're like, oh, this other person is saying often instead of often. Probably that is something that it might go in our heads, right? Yes? Okay. So no, it's just another way to say it. All right, silent U. This word, yes? Did you struggle with this word over here? Maybe yes, maybe not. So,
Biscuit.
biscuit. There you go. It's not squid, it's kid. Biscuit.
Biscuit.
And some of you are like, hold on, but how is it possible? Because I have the letter C. Again, we have to remember the sound and then connect it with what we're saying, okay? So biscuit.
Biscuit.
Okay, yes. Now, how about, for example, the word tongue? Yeah? Yeah. But then I have words such as guess.
Yes.
Which is very similar in sound as guess. Right? So please make the effort of pronouncing the letter T, okay? Guess and guess. All right?
All right.
All right, so finally we've got silent W. Okay, so are you guys ready? So
Sure, I'm ready.
In this case,
Ready.
similar to letter K, we just don't pronounce it, right? Especially when it's at the beginning. But in this case, and this is why it's important to understand why certain letters, even though they're not pronounced, they got to be there. They help our mouth form into the word. So the word, for example, playwright, sword,
Playwright.
the word sword. The word two. So the logics here is that, yes, it helps to the spelling because I do understand the difference, right? Because I have here the word, how do I pronounce this one? Whole, right? Yes, whole. The whole presentation, yes, the whole presentation was in English. Whole, right? Yes, exactly. Now, but if I take away the W, it's totally different word, and then it's the same pronunciation. So silent letters are extremely functional, okay? So whatever it is that we're trying to learn from another language, try to remember why is it there as a function instead of hating it or dreading it from the beginning. The more you love the things that look a little bit difficult at first, the easier it's going to be for you to learn that thing, okay, or that language. So in this case, let's practice this one because it has a TH at the end, okay? So wrath, yes, wrath, yes. Or this one over here, wrench, okay, wrench, yeah. Or wrestle, yes, wrestle.
Wrestle.
Fresh.
All right. So do you guys want to play? Are you ready to play some games? Because I got to give you the theory first, because otherwise you were going to fill in all the games, right? Or at least some of you.
Yeah.
So,
Totally
yeah, are we ready
ready.
to play some games? Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Sure.
Ready? Yes.
Please.
Ready?
Totally.
Let's go there. Ready?
Let's
Okay,
go.
so let's go here. Can you all see my screen? The one that says silent letters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, silent letters,
Yes.
open the box. Yes? Okay, so tell me what number?
9.
9.
Number 9? Okay.
7.
Number 2.
Come on, which is the correct spelling?
Scenario.
This one.
A,
B.
B,
B.
or C? B.
B. B.
Very good. Good job.
Yeah.
Woo. Okay, another number.
2.
Number 2. Okay.
7. Okay.
Which is the
Out
correct
two.
spelling? A,
Out
B, or
two.
C?
A. B.
Hurry.
C.
Number 7.
Let's go to number 7. Okay. Let's start again. Okay, number 7. Which is the silent letter in debris?
S.
Debris.
S.
I.
Listen to me again. Debris. Now everybody repeat. Now everybody repeat with me. Debris. Debris. Thank you. Good job. Okay, so what number?
1.
10. Number 1. Which image matches the word right? A, B, C. Yeah, that one was easy. Okay. What other number?
Number 8.
10.
Which of these school subjects has a silent letter? Spelling,
Science.
history,
Science.
Good job. Yes. Yes. Very good. Okay. What other number?
Number 5.
5. Which is the correct spelling?
Caesar.
Good job. Okay. All right. I love it. You guys, you know a lot. Okay. So what else? What number?
10.
Which is the correct spelling? Uh-oh. Yes. Good job. Yes. Okay, people. Do you want to go to another name?
9.
Do you want to go to another game?
9.
Yes, another game.
Other game.
Okay. Let's close with number 9. Which of these days of the week has a silent letter?
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Very good. Now let's pronounce it again because I am listening to people not pronouncing it correctly.
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
We totally forget the existence of
Wednesday.
Now, let's go to another game. Yes?
11.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. For example. So, which is the matching image for night?
C.
Letter C. Okay.
C.
Which is the correct spelling for yacht?
A.
Okay, very good. Which is the silent letter in
Whistle.
whistle?
T.
Whistle. Whistle.
T.
Whistle.
T.
T. Very good. Whistle. Which of these instruments has a silent letter? Piano, drums,
C.
guitar.
D.
Guitar, yes.
Guitar.
Which is the correct spelling?
B. Scenario.
Good job. This one was difficult. Scenario. Which is the silent letter in rhyme?
H. D.
Good job. Which image matches the word right?
E.
This one was easy.
D.
Oh,
D.
right. All right.
So this one we know.
Autumn.
Autumn. Autumn.
Okay, Charlie.
What?
Charlie.
C.
Charlie.
C.
Letter C.
C.
Charlie.
Good job.
Charlie.
Yes.
Charlie. Charlie.
This one. Foreign.
Alpha.
Foreign.
A.
A.
Foreign.
A.
Good.
This one is already.
S.
Debris.
F.
Free. Okay.
Echo. Echo.
Okay. Which is a correct spelling?
D.
Yeah, no. D.
Honest.
Honest. D. Honest. Delta.
Honest. The letter H is silent. This one we saw.
D.
Iron. C. D.
Iron. Very good.
C.
Wednesday.
Which one is it?
C. Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Okay. Answer. Answer.
W.
W.
Answer. Now. Okay. Okay, not bad. All right, everybody. Shall we close our microphones for a second? Yes. Let's close all of our microphones for a second. Thank you. Okay, it was nice, wasn't it?
Nice.
Yes.
Okay.
It's really fun.
Yes, it was. I love playing games in the classroom and in the presentation that I promise I'm going to fix because I don't know what happened. Okay, I am going to send you not just the presentation, but also a couple of 3 more games that I had selected for you. But I didn't want to play them now because then what's the point, right? For you to practice it at home. Okay, so I think that we have arrived to the Q&A part, right?
Right.
Yes, yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay.
I cannot hear you. Okay.
Miss Nana
Alright.
is
For
present,
Teacher
right?
Andy for delivering such an excellent
She's back.
lesson about silent letters. Our special speaker, Teacher Andy.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. And I apologize for the technical, problems that we were having before with the presentation, but I hope that we conquer them easily.
That's really okay. Okay, viewers, this time we have 30 minutes for asking questions to Coach Andy. And don't forget, on the last 10 minutes, we will do
It's okay. It's
attendance.
normal though.
So make sure you're still with us till the end. Well, if you guys are having a question that, of course, still related to the topic that we have talked about, which is silent letters in English words, we are allowing you to directly ask our speaker. Please click the raise hand feature first on your Zoom before asking the question. Don't forget to unmute your microphone and introduce yourself. Tell us what is your name, which school or country you came from, and yeah. But if you're shy, you can also type down your questions through the room chat.
Yes, of course. You can just type it down in the chat box. Yeah. Okay. Shall we just call for the first questioner who wants to ask first? You can raise your hand.
Come on, guys. Don't let this chance
Anyone?
slip and go to waste.
Hello,
Indeed.
may I ask?
Sure,
Of
Mr. Bako. Okay, here we have Mr. Bako to ask
Of
his
course,
question.
Mr. Shamsir.
Wow, actually, I never asked to all the speakers. This is the first time actually as long as I invite all the speakers. So it's really interesting for me actually. For the first one, I would like to say praktica divertica. Yes, that's right. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, Teacher Andy, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I just wanted to
Okay.
close my microphone just, because you were speaking.
Okay, I see praktica divertica is about your presentation actually. So my question is, it's really complicated actually, this is the hardest one. So why do English words write certain letters in words even though they are not spoken?
I'm sorry, can you repeat your question? Because there was a
Okay.
moment that you break.
Okay, do you understand? Like that. I say why do English words write the certain letters in the words, but actually, or even though they are not spoken, like Wednesday, but to pronounce Wednesday without the yes, why like that? It's really hardest one for me. Do you understand what I mean?
Yes, I totally understand what you mean. Is this
Yes.
question for me or for the other teachers in the room as well?
Yep.
For me?
Yep.
Okay. As I mentioned before, when we have words like Wednesday or when we have words like debris, okay, do you remember the word debris? Yes, that it had like this silent S, like at the end. I mentioned before that the English language has acquired many words that come from other languages. And the reason why is that they simply have been readapted into the language and we just simply don't pronounce it. That's what it is. That's why when it comes to silent letters, the best thing that you can do is to work with sound, pronunciation, and then with the knowledge of the spelling. Probably, as I said before, in order for you to break the difficulty of reading, especially for reading, that sometimes it can be extremely frustrating for students. My advice is to work with audiobooks. Okay, if you have graded readings and you have and it comes with an audio, please work with that, because in that way you're going to help yourself, especially if you're self-studying, you're going to help yourself to follow a correct reading. You're going to create a correct sound, okay? Obviously, if you want to do an after activity once you're done your reading, okay, with the audio, stop the audio and do it yourself and record it and see how you sound, okay?
Thank you, my teacher.
Okay, thank you so much, Coach Andy and Mr. Bako, also for asking your question. Now we have Mr. Shams here from Makassar. Hello, Mr. Shams here. I'm sorry, sir, you are still muted right now. Please turn off your microphone first.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
we can hear you.
Yeah. It seems the silent sound means a soft sound. See, soft sound. Soft. Okay, I give you example. When you say calm, L sound is there, but very soft. Very soft.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're totally right. You heard it right. The thing is
so
that
is it soft, soft sound?
no, silent means silent, right? But sometimes we should not be so black and white when it comes to pronunciation. When it comes to words, especially for example, the letter L, okay,
Yeah.
in order for my mouth to create that sound, in order for me to say that word, the letter L, even though it's not fully pronounced, I say that is silent. It is said that is silent because we don't say calm, we say calm, yes? But my tongue is rolling back in a way that it's kind of like going to say the letter L, but cutting it, yes? Calm, yeah, I don't say calm, yes, because if I would use the letter L, my tongue would go out, right? But I would say, yes, calm, calm. Why is this? because we have very similar words in English. I'm not talking about homophones only, because then we will have difference in spelling, right? Like the word whole, yes, with W and without, right? I am talking about like the word come, like come here, yes? If I would not have the letter L there as, you know, like a little push, that word would be very hard or impossible to say. It would be different, yes? Thank you. I hope that I answered your question.
Okay, thank you so much, Coach Andy and Mr. Shams here. Also now we have Mr. Adrian from Bandung, Indonesia. Hello, Mr. Adrian. Please ask your question.
Hey, hello, thank you so much, Kanaya. Hello, Miss Andi. It's really nice to know you. My name is Ardian. I'm from Bandung, Indonesia, and here I would like to ask a question regarding the lesson that you just presented. Actually, first of all, thank you so much for the lesson. It's really like meaningful, and also it's really interesting actually. And this is actually the first time for me. Like, I'm not laughing when it comes to pronunciation class, because I find it fun. I always find a pronunciation class funny because, you know, the facial expression that the teacher made when it comes to pronunciation class. And I find that some words that is really difficult to recognize when it comes to silent letter. For example, like in silent S, silent B, and silent PH, and also silent T. I think it's really confusing. So right here, I would like to ask that how do we recognize the words that has a silent letter? For example, like in the word subtle, I thought that it was pronounced subtle, but turns out it's pronounced subtle. So yeah, it's kind of hard to recognize them actually. So how do we actually recognize those silent letters?
Well, thank you for mentioning it, because I was going to say it by the end, but in my Instagram page, okay, I have a full collection of the explanation about how you can recognize them. But the thing is that it doesn't happen in all the cases, and it doesn't happen in all the words, but some words do follow a pattern, okay? So my advice for you is to go watch it. I have it all, because since I did it in different time, let me show you where is it in my, I'm going to show you all, okay? Do you see here, this book over here? Yes?
Okay, all right.
The button that comes immediately after the IGTV, this one over here, yes? You click it, and here it is, okay? All the collection of me explaining, okay, some of the patterns that you're just asking, okay?
Oh, okay.
Because I explain it very quickly, I explain it very briefly, okay? But some follow a pattern and some don't follow a pattern, okay? It's kind of like when we're talking about irregular verbs, yes? Some do follow a pattern and some just don't, okay?
All right. Thank you, Ms. Andi.
Good, anytime.
Hey, thank you so much, Mr. Adrian. And now we have Miss Sisri from Indonesia. Hello, Miss Sisri.
Hello.
Yeah, please ask your question when you can.
Okay. Thank you for the host who let me ask this question. And hello, Mr. Andy, Mrs. Andy, sorry. Okay. And my question is,